Hey guys, how are you? Good. I see your sweet faces, and I think you guys might all be on mute. Are you all on mute? You can push the button and take yourself off mute.
You're not.
Then I can hear your sweet cherub voices. Hey.
Hi.
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 How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Now, it looks like the Reed family is having dinner. I just made dinner myself. Is it anything super yummy and good?
Yeah.
Yeah? What is it?
Cornbread,
Ooh.
ribs, and salad.
Oh, that's awesome. Dude, I haven't had cornbread in a long time. I almost forgot how much I liked that. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down and make that for myself in the next week. That's a good idea. All right. Hey,
I like cornbread too.
You like cornbread too? Does everybody on here like cornbread, just out of curiosity?
Yeah.
Okay. So some of us do and some of us don't. And we don't
We
always
make
have to agree.
cornbread all day long while eating.
Ooh, that sounds good.
We sit at the table while they cook. And then we
right.
can get down from our seats.
There you go. So cornbread's almost like a
We
dessert.
start playing on Moses.
All right.
Ours.
Very good. Well, it's nice to see you guys. I'm glad you're here. Are you guys staying warm with all that snow outside? Yeah? I see somebody's got their Spark Bible. How do you like that?
Good.
You like it, Carly? Good. I'm glad you have that. That's super. So I think all of us now have Spark Bibles, so we should be good to go. All right? Now, I'm going to let you guys choose tonight. We're going to read a story out of our Spark Bible.
Sarah,
Yes?
we don't have one of those books.
You don't? I'll make a little note of that because we can probably get one to you. Would that be of help? Yeah? Okay. All right. Very fun. Very fun. So here's a question for you. We're going to listen to a story, do a story together, and whoever has their books can look at it in their books, and I'll hold it up too. And we're also going to sing some stuff. I should be able to pull up Miss Noelle and Josh playing some music. Should we read the story first, or should we sing first? What do you think?
Sing.
Sing? All right. Let's see if I can do this. All right.
I got the page right.
You got the page right there? All right. Let's pull this up. It is here we go. Oops.
What's that? What's that, baby?
All right.
What's that, baby?
Do this.
Couch.
All right. Can you see my screen? Or
Yeah.
no? Yes?
Yeah.
Can you see me, or do you see song?
Living in the dark.
All right. Okay, we'll do this welcome song first.
We don't see you.
You don't see me? That's okay.
We see you, Sarah.
That's what
I
okay,
don't
let's see if
see
we can
the
do this.
screen.
I think I'm doing it.
I don't see the screen.
Hold on, let's see if it pops. Do you see Noelle now?
No.
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 When we are baptized, we are.
What did I do? Let's go back for a second here. Where's my Zoom? There we go. Okay, now let me try it this way. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. It keeps kicking me out of this for some reason, but I don't know why. We'll see if I can do it. And if I can't, we might be able to just hear it. Why is it? It's being a little finicky here. Let's go this way. There we go. I can't minimize Zoom on me. Oh, okay. That may be what it is. Let's pause. Well, no, that's not right. It is saying that there's some problem with recording and us singing. But I've done this before when we have done that, so I'm kind of confused. Okay.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird? I think that's weird. It might be that we have to turn off, for whatever reason tonight, the recording part while we sing, but I'd rather not do that if I don't have to. But it is not letting me bounce. Maybe I'll do this in a different, oh, maybe that's it. Aha! I might have just figured it out. I might have just figured it out. We'll see. Oh, it's not letting me minimize this. Darn it. Wonder what that is. Well, fiddlesticks. When it's, can you guys see a Dropbox screen on there or not?
No.
No.
Let's try it this way. Nope, not doing it that way either. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Since it's not letting us do it this way, maybe we'll just do it on our own. What do you think? Okay, I'm going to put us all back on this big screen. Since it's not letting us access it, I have a question for you all. Do you have a favorite song that you sing at church that you miss or that you like? Noah, go ahead, unmute yourself and you can tell me what you're thinking.
I'm thinking of I Am a Promise.
I am a promise. I am a promise. I am a possibility, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how well do you guys know that? Do we think we can start it?
Yeah.
Okay, so who thinks they know it super great? Okay, Carly thinks she might know it super great. Lily, you think you might know it super great? Okay. I know it a little bit. I know it is, I am a promise, I am a possibility. That's the part I know. What parts do you guys know?
I am a great big potentiality.
Okay, this sounds good. Carly's going to help us get started because it sounds like Carly knows the tune and Lily knows the words. So I am a promise, I am a possibility, I'm a promise with a capital P, right? Does that sound close?
Yeah.
Okay, Carly, do you want to start singing and then we'll all just try to join in?
Sure.
Okay, and everybody can just join in when you hear a part that sounds familiar.
I am a promise. I am a possibility.
With a capital
I am a raging
Hear God's voice and I am
trying to make the right choice. I am a promise to be. And
God wants me to.
You guys did great with that. Oh my goodness, I'm so impressed. I am so impressed. I love that song because you guys are promises and possibilities and potential with a capital P. Who knew that you could sing that song so great? I'm going to tell Miss Noel. I'm going to see her later tonight. And I'm going to tell her and Josh, you guys did awesome even without them leading it. And even though I sang some wrong words, you guys are awesome. Good job. Good job. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's learn a little bit today in our story. It ends up we're going to kind of, it's nice you guys wanted to do the promise possibility song because it kind of links in with our story tonight. You smarties figuring that out even ahead of time, or maybe that's just God working cool things. We're going to look at page 322 and 323 in your Bibles, okay? And it's called Peter's Faith, okay? So I'm going to try to hold this up and read at the same time. We'll see if I can do it. All right? Can you all see that? Okay, of the people talking? So Peter's Faith. Peter and the disciples were traveling to Caesarea. And as they were walking, Jesus asked, "Who do people think I am?" This friend started thinking. Some people think that you are your cousin John or the prophet Elijah. Jesus nodded. Okay, but who do you think I am? Peter could hardly wait to answer. He was like, me. Ask me. Okay, Peter's super excited to answer this question. So Peter said, you're the one God sent to save the world. You're the one God sent to save the whole world. Wow. Peter was right. So Jesus began to talk about how he would die and come alive again. And suddenly Peter, he got really angry. So Peter got really angry and he said, that's not how it's supposed to go. That's not how it's supposed to happen. So Peter started arguing about that. And Jesus knew better. And Jesus said, stop thinking about your own plan and think about God's plan. Okay? This is God's plan that we're doing. And a crowd of people gathered around Jesus. And Jesus said, if you want to follow me, Jesus said, think about God's plan. Not your own plan, not your own ideas, but God's ideas. And that's the end of our story for today. So, I think that is a super interesting idea. And I kind of want to know, do any of you have a favorite story or a favorite movie that maybe lots of kids on here might also have as a favorite story or a favorite movie? Carly, I'm going to let you go. I saw your hand first, dear.
Well, a lot of kids might not know this, but I like the story Baby Mouse. It's like a comic book.
Ah, okay.
If little kids want to read it, they'll need their parents to help. But
Okay.
if you're like 8 or 7, you could read it.
Okay, gotcha. So why do you like that story? What happens in that story?
Well, there's a lot of interesting stories, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that Baby Mouse does, and so there's this mean girl that always like bosses her around, and she has her best friend,
Gotcha.
and on the second book she was invited to Felicia's Furry Paws sleepover, which is the mean girls person.
So here's a question for you. If in the story, the mean girl suddenly started acting nice.
Yeah, but then at the sleepover, she didn't act nice.
Right. So if suddenly somebody changed the story and she was acting nice, you'd kind of be like, wait, this isn't the right story, right? It would kind of mess it up. It'd mess up like, wait. Okay. So keep that idea in your head for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who else wants to tell a little bit about a story? Go ahead. Benicki's.
Mine's Baby Mouse. I also read those. I let Carly borrow them.
Okay.
And so Felicia's a cat. And like there's up to like 13 books, and I've read Camp Baby Mouse, and if you like kind of like silly adventures, not true books, you might want to get those.
Okay.
If, like Carly said, 7 or 8, you can read them.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
She goes on different places each time, and one time when she went camping for summer camp, she asked, what's that? And it was the bathroom, and it was like really, really dirty.
Ew. Okay.
And there's also 17 books.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot. Now, here's a question. You said there's Felicia, the cat.
Mm-hmm.
Is she in all these stories?
She's in all of them. But in Camp Baby Mouse, she's actually kind of nice.
Okay.
Because like she actually let a baby mouse do some nice things, but at the beginning she's like mean and like she does nothing, but at the end she's like kind of actually nice because she's cheering for Baby Mouse.
Gotcha. Now here's a question. If you were reading that story and all of a sudden it was saying Felicia the dog, Would you be like, wait, that's not right? No. Felicia's not a dog. Felicia's a cat. Would that
I would
kind of
get
change
pretty
the story or
confused.
mess up the story?
That would probably mess up the story because in every single book, she's a cat.
Right. It would kind of mess up the way things are supposed to go. You've read these books. You know how they're supposed to go. That's not how it goes. Okay. I saw a hand in the Reed family also. Did you have a story you wanted to mention? And I think you're muted. There you go. Is there a story or a movie that you think other kids on here might have also seen or know?
Moana.
I'm sorry?
Moana.
That's a good one. Okay, so tell me a little bit about that story and your friends a little bit in case they don't know the story.
So first, Maui's being good, and then the second part, he's being really bad.
Okay, so what if that story started with her being bad instead of being good? Would you be like, wait, this is wrong. This isn't how the story goes?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I want you to think about for a second. Okay, in our story today, what they've just figured out, I'm gonna have you put your hand down for a second, Carly. I see it, but I want to make a point about this, how it connects with this story. Okay, in this story today, the disciples are suddenly figuring out that Jesus is God, that Jesus is like stronger than Superman, like more amazing than anyone ever, that Jesus is like the holy God. Like the disciples, like it's like mind blowing. They're like, oh my gosh, Jesus is God. Oh my gosh. It's very good face, Carly. That's how they kind of feel, right? Can everybody do that face? Oh my gosh. Jesus is God. How amazing is that? Okay, so they're in this total amazed place. That's where the disciples are, okay? Yeah. Thanks for your little faces, your little reactions. That's exactly right. Everybody's amazed, right? So, while they're in this amaze, if you're God, right, you can do anything, right? You're like, you know everything. You can do everything. You created everything. You're like all powerful. And all of a sudden, Jesus, who they've just figured out is God, is saying he's going to die. And so that's why the disciples are like, no, that's not how the story goes. You're God. You can like, dun, dun, dun. You can do anything, right? You can heal anybody. You can walk on water. Like, no, you don't die. That's not how the story goes. No, that's not how this should be. So that's why Peter is kind of complaining at him and saying, no, don't die. Don't go get crucified on a cross. Don't do that. No, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. Okay? And Peter's kind of saying, I've got a better idea. I got a better way that you can do this. Okay? And Peter kind of, he's kind of yelling at Jesus, don't do it that way. That's not the way the story goes. And Jesus is like, no, Peter, you're wrong. Right? It's about God's plan. Lily, you've got it, right? Because God is all-knowing and God knows the best plan. Even if we think it's a crazy plan, God knows what's best, right? And so Jesus's point is, you got to follow God. You got to trust God and believe God and know that God's going to make it all work out. And when Jesus died on the cross for us, Jesus forgave all of our sins so that everybody's forgiven. Everybody in the Reed family is forgiven. Everybody in the Willem family is forgiven. Everybody in the Benicki family is forgiven. All right, Lily's forgiven. Carly's forgiven. Vicar Sarah's forgiven. All of us get to go to heaven and like live forever with God. It's a great plan. Even though at the time it seemed like a dopey idea by Peter. Peter's like, that's not how it should go, right? But God's plan is the best plan. All right? The best.
Just don't kill yourself tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Don't kill yourself tomorrow.
That was what Peter was saying. Peter was saying, don't let yourself die tomorrow. But Jesus's point was, hey, Peter, That's the whole reason I came. I love you so much that I'm going to die for you because that's God's plan. And that's how much God loves you. Okay? So I get that Peter thought it was a crazy idea. And I get that Jesus was like, this is the best plan. You just don't know it yet. Okay? So I think that that's sort of an interesting thing to think about. So I want you to pretend for a moment that you got to be God and create something awesome. What would you create if you could be in charge and create anything you wanted? And you guys can just shout these out if you want. Go ahead, Carly. I see your hand.
I would probably create like a new dance move
New dance.
that I made up.
Ooh, that would be fun. Go ahead. Benicki, family, what would you create?
Raining food.
Raining food. Okay, like, isn't that the movie like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is like, and that seems like a great idea, right?
I don't want to make the world overflow with them.
Right. So that's interesting. Okay. It seems like a really great idea to have it rain food.
But some of it's bad. Like you don't want to do it like he did, where you made a big machine and it could blow up. I'll just make it rain food.
Yeah. Now, see, the other thing is, I'm thinking if it rained food, like what would happen if you were outside and it was raining food and like a pizza landed on your head and like slid all over you and got you all messy?
Well, you would want a rain umbrella like you.
Yeah.
You would want a rain.
That would be helpful. That would probably be helpful.
Because then it'll just fall on your rain. Rain umbrella. But like when it's raining donuts, you can just grab one and stick it in your mouth.
That's true. But you know what? If it rained donuts, I bet I would weigh 500 pounds because I super love donuts. So while I think your idea is great, I'm kind of thinking maybe it's better that God doesn't make it so it rains donuts so that I don't eat a bunch of unhealthy stuff.
It would only rain 2 for you.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be nice too. All right. Any other ideas from anybody else? Creative ideas that you have? Because we all have creative ideas, right? I will admit to you, there are plenty of times that I think my idea is awesome and that God should do my idea because my idea is super great. So sometimes it's hard to trust that God's really got the best ideas, but God does. And I see, Willems, you were trying to show me something in this book. What is this in this book that you're interested in? Okay, you gotta take it off of mute so we can hear it. Can you click the mute button or the unmute button?
Okay, baby. I can hear you now.
This is a mochi book.
This is a what?
Mochi book.
The Mochi book. It's a story about a little bear.
Oh, very cute. Okay, so what's the little bear do in that story?
One day Mochi was flying into a serious airplane and he fell.
So that little bear flies around in an airplane?
No.
Yeah, he does in this story. Yeah.
Comes
Yeah.
on the side of blue.
Ah, look at that bear in that airplane. So like, if that bear wasn't in an airplane and he was in one of the boats instead, that's not the way the story goes, right?
Eagles flew in the very instant.
Well, it looks very cool. It looks very cool. And one of the things that's very cool. One of the things I think is, you guys realize that you're kind of in a story with God right now. Like your lives are kind of like you're in a story with God. Like who knows what life's gonna be like at age 10 for you. It could be anything. Maybe by age 10, you make your own dance moves and like you have people all over the world doing your dance moves. Maybe at age 15, you figure out some way for it to rain food so that people who don't have food in the world can have food. Okay? Who knows what's going to happen? Okay? But one of the things, no matter what happens, is we're going to try to trust God and trust that God's plans are good. So here's my final question for you. Are you ready for my final question? Okay, I want you to think about this kind of weird pandemic time we've had, okay? Where we've had to kind of be inside more often, all right? And wear masks, right? And wash our hands a lot. Can you think of one thing that has actually been kind of nice about the pandemic? One thing that's maybe been kind of good? One thing maybe you've enjoyed with your family? One thing that's made you happy? Okay, Noah got his hand up first, so we're going to let him unmute and go first. What's one thing that was good?
Watching Finding Dory with me and my sister.
Okay, so watching that with your sister, and that was kind of a good thing. Do you think it could have been God's plan for you to do something fun with your sister and really enjoy it? Does that sound like something God would like? Yeah. All right, up at the top, the Wilhelm family. What is something that has been fun or good about the pandemic for you?
What's fun for you?
I have been playing outside. That's fun for me.
Okay,
Good job, Zoe.
playing outside, right? So, have you been doing that maybe more than usual, it sounds like, or enjoying that more than usual? Because I wonder, could that be part of God's plan too, to let you enjoy nature a little bit more outside? I think it could be, right? That's God's creation. It might be that God wants you to enjoy it and have fun out there. All right, Benicki family. Something good or fun about the pandemic? Okay, you're on mute, I think, somehow still, honey. I can't hear you. Let's see if we can unmute you somehow. We'll mute you and we'll unmute you and see if that happens. I still can't hear you, my dear. You don't look muted, but I can't hear you. If you want, you could type it in the chat. Do you want to do that? Okay, Carly, I'm going to ask you. Oh, wait, you're muted now, Benicki's. See if you can unmute. Okay, I do not have sound from you at all.
Just saying.
There we go. I got sound from, who's that talking? I do not have sound from Benicki's. Lily, did you say something?
I said for her to just do it in the chat.
Okay, I can hear you, Lily. Can you think of something good that's happened in the pandemic that you have liked or that brought you some joy? What do you think?
More time with her family.
More time with your family. Like, does that seem something like something that God would maybe plan and have for you? I think so too, right? That's a really great thing, all right? All right, Carly, I'm gonna ask you to go next and then we'll try to circle back to Benicki's one more time.
Well, I like to play with my brother, and it just gives me more time to explore the world around my house
Yeah,
instead of always being out.
yeah. And don't you think God maybe wants you to kind of relax and enjoy life a little bit, right? Without like frazzling, running around, gotta go here, gotta go there. There's so much to do. I'm so busy. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, and it gives me time to just like read and all that.
Yeah, God's given you time to kind of relax and enjoy your life. And do you think God would want you to do that?
I'm in the middle of this book.
Ah, so you're getting a chance to kind of read and learn more.
So,
Gotcha. Very cool. All right, we're going to circle back to Benicki's and see if we can hear you.
where even are the Benicki's?
Right up here. Go ahead. Okay, and again, I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. I don't know why there's no sound, but if you want at the bottom where the chat
You
is,
should type it in the chat.
you could type it in and then we would know what you're thinking because I'm sure your idea is great. And I'm sorry that the sound is being kind of funky. But we would love to hear what you think is great or has been fun about the pandemic. And then you can just hit return and it'll pop up there and we'll read it together. All right. So that way we can all share ideas, even if the audio is being silly in some of our computers, because that happens sometimes. All right. You're doing a great job being patient and persevering with this. I'm very impressed. I can FaceTime with friends, that I can talk to friends that I can't see in person. That's a great idea, right? And FaceTime is a great way, like even right now, for us to like hang out and see each other and spend time together. I get to see all of you in your houses and see what you're doing, and I get to know you a little bit better. And that's a super great way to know people. So even in this pandemic, which honestly can seem like, God, that's an awful idea. Why are we having a pandemic? But God's still bringing a lot of really great things out of it, right? So that's kind of cool that God's plan can kind of bring great out of stuff. Like even Jesus dying on the cross, God brought something great out of that, even though it seems like an awful idea. Okay? So this story today is a great reminder for us to trust God's plan, even when we don't understand it yet and it doesn't make sense to us and we think it's maybe dopey. All right? But to trust God's plan anyway. Okay? All right. Now, can we say the Lord's Prayer together? And then we'll count 1, 2, 3, and we'll yell faith. So everybody unmute if you can, please.
That's good. And then we'll have to go get Grandpa.
Okay. Okay. All right. Y'all ready to pray?
Yeah.
Here we go. Our Father,
Father,
Our Father,
art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be your
Hallowed
name.
be thy name.
Your
Thy
kingdom
will
come,
be done.
your will be done
will be done.
Thy
on earth
kingdom
as it is
come.
in heaven.
Thy kingdom be
Give
done.
us this day our daily bread.
God,
Give us our sins as we forgive
give us
those.
today our daily bread.
Save us from
Forgive
the
us
time
our
of trial
sins.
and deliver us from evil.
As we forgive those who
For
sin
thine is the
against us.
kingdom and the power and the
Give
glory
us the time of trial.
Now and forever.
Deliver us from evil.
Amen.
For thine is the kingdom, thine is the power, and the glory, forever and ever.
I have to
Amen.
say, this is one of my favorite things, is doing Our Fathers on Zoom with people in the congregation and kids, because it's just awesome. So everybody put your hands in. All right. And we're going to say 1, 2, 3. Good job, everybody. Have a great night. Go get your baths. Get ready for bed. Get dessert, whatever you need to do. Bye.